have any opening statements, or we just want to go with questions?
Yeah, let's go with questions.
All right, hit it up, guys. Go ahead.
Cael, your 16th season, do you think it's flown by for you? And is this experience, this journey for you, been everything you thought it would be and could be so far?
Yeah, 16th season. Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that many, but yeah, it goes fast. Every year's flies by. Off season flies by. So, and to us, it's just go get it, and do our best every day, and those days obviously fly by. And here we are. We're about to start another season. So, but yeah, everything's been great. Super. Just grateful to be at Penn State and with the people that we work with every day, and the community's been awesome. But yeah, I just got nothing but good memories, and just looking forward to making more.
How much are you looking forward to this season?
How much?
Yeah.
A lot, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we're, every season's kind of the same for us. We just are excited to see where we are and then just build from there. Right? We have a lot of just great kids, great human beings that, so yeah, we'll see where we're at, and then we'll just keep getting better and be at our best in the big moments.
Looks like your starters are probably pretty much settled at most weights, but can you shed any light on if there's been any wrestle-offs or any leaders at 33, 57, or 97?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a round of wrestle-offs, but we'll use the preseason and these early matches and tournaments just to kind of make sure and get everything set. So yeah, the next couple months will give us a pretty good idea who our guys are. But we still have. I was just talking to one of our kids. I mean, the nationals are still 5 months out, so we got some time to figure things out and grow and learn and keep making small steps and progress.
How difficult is it that freshmen are coming in more prepared than what they have in the past, that makes it difficult for you guys as coaches to maybe decide that starting lineup and things like that, or the redshirting process?
Yeah, I think I think you're right. I think it has changed. I mean, I think kids are just more prepared to jump in right away, and there's enough examples that they want to follow suit, and so you're pretty much, for the most part, wrestling your best team, I think, now every year. And if a kid gets the opportunity and they're ready to go and they earn the spot, then it's up to them. Still, I mean, there's still going to be kids that want a red shirt, but yeah, I mean, kids have access to RTCs at a young age, and just incredible technique and coaching, and they're ready. Yeah, they're ready to go. High level competition. So yeah, I don't know if it makes things more difficult for us, but it's just a change that's just part of college wrestling now.
Cael, Levi Haynes is vacating that 157-pound spot. Is it safe to say that Tyler Casack is going to take over? What is the plan for 157 pounds?
Well, that's one of those weights that's going to be more competitive for us. Alex Facundo's looking really good at the weight. Obviously Casack as well, and so that's that's going to be one of our more competitive weights that we'll have to figure out who's going to be the starter there. And when that gets determined, you'll know when I know, probably, kind of a deal.
Cael, with Braden Davis bumping up this year, where does that leave things for Aaron Nickal?
Well, actually, Aaron was injured in the off season, if you guys weren't aware of that. So he's still kind of rehabbing and getting back to full strength. And but yeah, 33 was another. Every weight is competitive now. I mean, we just have a lot of good kids that believe in themselves and are going to compete hard. 33 has a handful of guys, and I think initially Davis has definitely kind of jumped out as that front runner.
when you look at some of the weight, obviously with him going up, Haynes goes up, Starocci goes up. What went into some of that decision-making process? Was it all just body related and those guys were ready for a different weight class, or can you walk us through the decisions to settle on the weights those guys did?
Yeah, we let our guys kind of make those decisions, and the first year, 2 years ago when Levi was going to go 57, I saw him the summer before, and I was like, wow, that's going to be a difficult move for him, and then he's just disciplined enough and does everything right that he made it work. And then I think the next summer, there's no way he's going to make 57 again. And then sure enough, he was extremely disciplined and followed the game plan like to a T, and was able to obviously wrestle great and feel great and be healthy. And so I don't think it. He's got a big frame, and so when he was ready to go up, he's kind of ready to go up, and that's something that not something that we get too involved in. I mean, we're trying to help each individual and figure out what's in their best interest. So we're obviously going to guide them and help them as much or as little as they want. Carter, I think he's also a guy who just has been at 74. He's won 4 national titles at 174, right? But it's getting tougher and tougher for him to get that weight down there. And I like the idea of him just going and competing and making weight management less of a factor in his week. So and we've had a lot of success with our guys going up over the years, and there's a lot of wrestling, and if our kids can feel good enough to focus on improving every day instead of trying to manage their weight, it's just I think it's a better plan if that's possible. If it isn't possible, then we make the most of it, and that's what we'll do.
Cael, arguably, Carter's last season there's some comparisons that could be made to your last season, in that there are a lot of expectations. He's going for a goal that's not been attained before, much like you did. Is more of his challenge mental and just maintaining expectations and all of that as it is physical?
Well, I think it can be. I think it's kind of the challenge for everybody, because regardless of your circumstances, whether you're first or second or third string or redshirting or whatever, I mean, our own imaginations will kind of create expectations, and we add pressure to ourselves. But yeah, I think with a guy like Carter, he's just a competitor, right? And he's confident, and he's not going out there trying to sneak by with wins. So he's always looking to the bigger picture. I mean, his goal is to obviously have a great year this year and then get ready for the Olympics and World Championships. So I think the process of improvement never really ends, and so I don't think you'll see a shift in his mindset of trying to hold on to something or trying to not lose or whatever, that kind of mentality, which is so common in sports. But yeah, I mean, those are things that we'll do our best to. I mean, it's the same thing for everybody. Same thing with the coaches. Same thing for the freshmen. Everybody has expectations, and how you deal with them is part of the fun challenge of college sports.
Cael, how has the wrestling room as a whole adjusted with key figures? David Taylor, of course, leaving, big absence there. How's the wrestling room digested that and handled it to this point?
Yeah, our room and the culture and the energy has really never been better. It's been, we have an outstanding group of kids. We hate to see our guys that come through our program leave, but that's just part of life, right? And, in the future, we're going to have other superstar guys leave. We've had superstar guys leave prior, right? And you never like to see your guys leave, but, that's kind of what we are trying to help our kids do, is come here, let's help you reach your goals, and then when the time's right, you're going to move into the next phase of your life and go kick some butt there. So, but yeah, everything, it's been a really productive, positive off season for us. We don't get out and talk, and we don't do the hype thing and all that kind of stuff. But the addition of Nickal has been really an outstanding hire for us. He's done a really nice job. We were able to hire Clay Stedman as our GM, is what we're calling him now, and he's done an awesome job with all the changes in college athletics. So yeah, we've been blessed to be able to kind of really elevate our program in the last 6 months, and that's just what we're going to keep doing.
What do you expect from Lilladall?
Lilladall, he's just going to compete. He's a competitor. He's has a lot of experience. Just a really good person. I mean, we love competing with him. He's, he's the guy that loves to train and loves to improve, and has a great mindset. He'll be a really good influence on the team, and his teammates, obviously. But yeah, he's he is as described and as everyone's following him the last few years. I'm sure he's gonna be a lot of fun.
Can you fill us in with Greg? Obviously, he was supposed to wrestle on Saturday night, and now he's not going to, and things like that. So
Yeah, Greg's fine. I think people were concerned if he was injured or something. I think they just try to get those kids to sign up for that event a long time in advance, and I think he just had some things come up. But yeah, he's good to go. The plan is he's wrestling Sunday, so just had some things on Saturday that I think some family things that he wanted to participate in, and so. But yeah, he's good to go.
Is Lilladall the guy at 125, or is there another open competition there?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, every weight's an open competition. Kurt McHenry's done a really good job to get healthy, and he's looking really good also. But yeah, that's one of those a weight class, like every weight class is we'll use the next month or so to kind of figure out what the plan is there.
It's a process, with the scholarship limit and all, but you think this might be the deepest team you've ever had? That weight by weight, depth-wise?
We'll find out. It's always easy to speculate and talk about the way things are, but that's completely different than how we show up and compete and how things play out during the season. But yeah, we have a strong team. We're happy with where we're at, and we still as coaches believe our best years are ahead of us, and the best years are still ahead for Penn State wrestling. That's our job. That's what we're excited about. But yeah, we're really excited about the group of student athletes we have in the program right now.
Are you looking ahead to the change in the scholarship allocation limit and stuff? I mean, obviously you are, but can you talk a little bit about what you're thinking about with that?
There's a lot of changes, and we kind of find out the same time everyone else does. You read an article about things changing, you're like, oh, okay, well, so we just kind of go with the flow, and I think any changes are probably good for our program and Penn State wrestling. We're not going to have 30 scholarships, right? 'Cause I've seen that floated out there. I mean, there might be a few programs that have 30 scholarships, but unfortunately, the reality for most, especially male Olympic sports, is they're probably going to move backwards in the support that they have, and that stuff. But I think as a sport, we'll figure it out, and we'll keep getting better and keep producing people that are going to go out and do big things in the world, right? But yeah, we just kind of go with the flow, and we're going to take care of our guys, and we're going to compete in all aspects of in all aspects that we're allowed to compete in, right? So we're not going to take a back seat in any way. I mean, we're going to really work our butts off to make sure our kids have the reasonable and awesome opportunities to take advantage of all these changes.
In that regard, how come Clay was the right guy to sort of be in that role as your general manager?
Well, Clay's, if you are familiar with his history, he was the guy who he was here when we first got here, right? And he just was one of those bigger than life guys, very professional. He's very successful outside of after he left the program. I tell our guys he was my first year, our staff's first year here at Penn State. He was our 97 pounder, and he had a really bad neck and back. He actually got hurt in a car accident in high school, and it was tough for him. And then his senior year, the trainers and doctors finally said, "Hey, Clay, it's just not worth it. We're not going to let you wrestle anymore." And that was really hard for Clay. And he was a guy who he still weighed in every weigh-in, and he had a hard time making weight. He's a big guy, and he would beg me to put him in the lineup. And I think that's a pretty special thing. And I say, Clay, we love your passion, your fire. We can't put you out there because most of the time, if you ask a kid that's not planning on wrestling in the dual meet, hey, you got to make weight just in case, or there's a chance you'll wrestle. there's not a lot of kids that are always right there ready to go. Where this guy couldn't wrestle, knew he couldn't wrestle, still, maybe he was trying to get me in trouble actually, now I think back on that. But yeah, that's the kind of guy Clay is, but he's just a very personable, as honest as you can be. He lifts people up. You know, the other thing I tell people about Clay was, I mean, I think the first 10 years after we got here, he was everybody's best man. You go to a wedding of a wrestler and there's Clay as the best man again. You're like, what's going on with this guy? You know, so he's just that kind of guy, just a big personality. And he brings a lot of positivity, very smart. You know, he's a hustler, works really hard, understands the sport. Obviously, he's an alumni, and he's done an outstanding job for us so far.
At 197, looks like Josh Barr, one of your contenders there. Is this kind of a temporary move for him while Carter does his last year, or is he the kind of kid that's going to grow into that and might not be able to go back down to 84?
Yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that. I've wondered the same thing because I think his plan was be 84, and he could have gone either way. But he's a big, strong kid. He works hard. He's really disciplined. I think he's the kind of guy that's disciplined and tough enough that he could go down or go up. But he's not going to be a small 97 pounder. I mean, he's definitely jumped levels, I would say, in the last few months. But yeah, that's a very competitive weight for us as well, right? You have Lucas Cochran in there, who's done a really great job for the program over the years, has a lot of experience. You know, we have the Mirasola brothers too, but they're, you know, Cole is wrestling heavyweight, Connor's 97, but those guys are probably just a shoe-in rush to Redshirt, just with the way the program is, and wouldn't make sense to wrestle those guys. But yeah, Josh Barr's done an awesome job. He's very committed, very dedicated, obviously very skilled and technical and tough wrestler.
Is the idea of maybe those guys that are wrestling Saturday won't be in line maybe Sunday just to kind of not really grind them up so far?
Yeah, it looks like the majority of them will not be wrestling Sunday. That'll be in the AllStar Match. I mean, I think there's a couple of them that are considering it, but I think their focus right now is the AllStar Match, and then if something changes, you know, obviously they're on weight, but I mean, they're wrestling some of the best guys in the country, so, you know, we want them to focus on that match. I mean, it doesn't count on your record or whatever, but I mean, if you're a competitor, every match obviously counts, and you want to go wrestle well and kind of set the tone and get things going. But yeah, I mean, we're going to we have a lot of really tough and able-bodied kids that are ready to jump in there if the opportunities present itself.
You're interested to see how your five guys compete this Saturday, you know, against the good competition, and also, you know, are you pleased with the All-Star format, the fact that you had it back for a second year, just the way?
Yeah, it's easier for us if we have it here, then we don't have to travel. You know, a couple years ago, I think it was in Texas, whatever, but it's nice for us to have it here. It gives our fans another opportunity to wrestle and be here at Rec Hall. And yeah, I don't get too caught up and worried about the results. I mean, sometimes, you know, it's just, we're going to keep getting better whether we wrestle great or not, right? And so, of course, we always want to wrestle great, and that's the plan, and we're prepared to wrestle great. But at the same time, you know, each match is going to come and go really fast, and then we're going to be on to the next one. So, you know, we want to keep the long-term mindset in place and just be prepared because, you know, we're going to be competing for the national title in March. So that's ultimately what we're preparing for. Yeah.
Would you say? Go ahead.
How has Shane come back from surgery? Has he looked good?
Yeah, he's been going. He's wrestling on Saturday in the All-Star Match, and he's Shane. He's just you know, he applies a lot of pressure, and moving forward, he's going to wrestle tough. He just learns and continues to improve in all areas. Hasn't been on the mat in a long time, but he's looking really good. We're excited to get him back in the lineup.
How much has Mitchell take what he's learned internationally and has evolved into, you know, where with you guys now in this success that he's had most recently?
Yeah, I think Mitch is he loves to compete. He's very consistent. I mean, you see him in practice, he's bringing the same fire and energy. And so, yeah, anytime you wrestle and you push yourself and challenge yourself, I mean, he did really well in the Olympic team trials here in April, whenever it was, and then just took third in the U20 World Championships. I think he's just with his mindset and his his competitiveness, he's going to keep getting better. So yeah, we're excited. I mean, I know he's a lot of fun to watch, and people are probably looking forward to seeing him do his thing.
When it comes to the makeup of your non-conference schedule, why was Wyoming a team you targeted to bring here to Rec Hall, and then why did you guys want to go to the collegiate wrestling duels down in Nashville?
You just try to switch things up, right? You try to wrestle different opponents, and you also kind of wrestle who you can get to come in and wrestle you too, you know. So it's just kind of a combination of things. And but yeah, we're excited to wrestle Wyoming. They have Coach Branch has done a great job out there. They have some really good guys, and give us a chance to get our guys out west again next year, which is something that we've tried to do in the past. The collegiate duels is we didn't go to that last year, I think, because of the Olympic trials, and there was a qualifier right before it, whatever. But yeah, it's the format is great for us. We're going to get 3 really good matches, I think, and right before the Christmas break, which seems to be a pretty good plan for us. So yeah, that's and you just got to get matches, and if you can wrestle people that you aren't going to wrestle 3 or 4 times that year, that's more fun.
So you will do home and home with Wyoming?
I think so. I should know more about our program, but yeah, there's some things I focus on and some things I don't worry too much about. But I think we are going out to Wyoming next year. Yeah.
Cael, they're doing 2 Jordan Center dual meets this year.
Yeah.
Can you talk about why?
They're just big duels, and gives more fans a chance to go compete. I think it's great practice for our student athletes to wrestle in the up on a stage and get that feel for what it's going to be like at the national tournament. So I think it's a win-win. It's those matches bring in obviously more revenue because there's more fans, and it's a great environment for us. I mean, we love Rec Hall. It's just a little small, right, and it's tough to get in here. So if you're wrestling those big duels, they'll just the same kind of philosophy that we've had for years over there.
How have you seen Mitchell Mesenbrink improve? What's impressed you the most about him in terms of his development now with another year in the program? Yeah,
I think he is. I think a lot of focus for him for folk style has just been mat wrestling, right? Because if you recall from last year, he's a buzzsaw on his feet, so people want to slow him down and kind of take some time off the clock, and so he's got to be able to get away from people and kind of just be himself. So he's put a lot of effort and time into the mat wrestling stuff, and but he's a unique character, right? I mean, he just keeps working, has a very positive mindset and mentality, and he's really grateful to be at Penn State, which is always makes our jobs more fun. But yeah, he's been a good one for us.
How have you seen him handle that finals match now that it's all settled in?
Yeah, I think he's fine. Any loss is tough, especially when you're as competitive as he is. But win or lose, we're looking forward to the next event, right? And the next season, the next national tournament. So we don't get too caught up in any match. I mean, tough losses are the ones that usually Not that a guy like Mitchell needs any motivation, but sometimes those tough losses are, end up being huge blessings for us, and very rarely do they not. If you approach it with the right attitude. So yeah, it hasn't even been really, I don't think, a second thought. I mean, we haven't thought a lot about it. I mean, it was tough, and but we're moving on, and he rebounded right away and went and made the national team at the Olympic trials, and has won a world medal since then. So. Everything works out for our good if you just keep a good, positive attitude.
You guys,
Time for 2 more.
You guys obviously are. You guys don't focus your energy on things you shouldn't focus it on, things like that. So, how is it that at the tail end of this year that nationals are going to be in Philadelphia, and they were in Pittsburgh 5 years ago now. So, how do you kind of not get too far ahead, but still know that that's there?
Yeah, I think that's cool that it's in Philly, but again, we don't really think about that stuff, because it's kind of like the saying, we don't care where the ballroom is, we just like to dance, kind of a thing. So to us, it's all the same thing, but when you're looking back, yeah, it's special to be in Philly, and to have won the Nationals in Philly was awesome. To have won the Nationals in Pittsburgh was awesome. And, we hope we can get as many of our fans there, and alumni and supporters as possible. But we've also seen that the NCAA tournaments on the East Coast are like the most difficult ticket to get, which is, I think that's a good sign for our sport, and it's kind of challenged maybe some of what we thought or what people thought prior to this time. So, but yeah, being in Philly, that's great. But yeah, wherever the tournament is, it's kind of the same to us.
One more.
I guess we'll get to talk to him in a minute, but for Bo, what have you seen from his offseason heading into this year?
Well, Bo's one of those consistency guys, right? He's just the same person all the time, and those are the guys that get better, and those are the guys that are the easiest to coach and support. But yeah, I think he's will continue to jump levels, and he has jumped levels. And the big thing is just same with all of our guys is just wrestling with enthusiasm, right, and gratitude, and let's just go score some points and make our opponents never want to wrestle us again.
All right, great. All right,
Cool.
thank you, Cael.
Thank you.
Thank you.